students, welcome back to my YouTube English channel, English with Malik sir. In the last class, we have discussed about the significance of subject part and predicate part in our sentences. In the sense how subject part and predicate part play very important role in sentence construction. Without subject part, without predicate part, without finite verb, neither a clause nor a sentence can be written or expressed. Therefore, they play very important role. We have also discussed the various elements of the predicate part in the last class, how verb plays the main role, the head word of the predicate part. In this segment, part 27, we are going to focus on the differences in between complement and adjunct. This is very important factor. Many students face problem in distinguishing in between the subject and the predicate. We said the complement and the adjunct. Complement and adjunct, then complement means the word that go with the other well. It means how it complements the subject, that is noun or pronoun. Yes, here we find complement. Complement is one of the components of a sentence. Natural, one of the components of a sentence. It may be a word, or a phrase which used to complement noun or pronoun in a sentence to make it more attractive. Yes, but we have already discussed that complement is used to just complement the noun or pronoun to express a very attractive meaning, and this is a very important component or element or part of the predicate part. And yes, therefore we should know about the complement part very vividly. Yes, well, now come here we find it adds more information about the subject or object. Yes, complement part gives more information because that makes the sentence suitable in expression, and hence complement is the most important part of our predicate or our sentence, and that complements noun or pronoun in a very which are used either as a subject or predicate. We have also discussed subject, predicate, and also object, because subject and object in the last class we have discussed about object, direct and indirect object. Both information about the subject or object, it completes the predicate part. Again, it completes the predicate part. Yes, and in a predicate part we may use complement. If we use complement, that completes the predicate part. Complement may be a noun, or noun phrase, or adjective phrase, present participle, past participle, prepositional phrase, or the matter, or adverb phrase. Yes, we will discuss. Remember, complement may be a noun. Yes, very interesting idea that usually complements are four types. one noun phrase. Yes, it may be adjective phrase or adverb phrase or prepositional phrase. Once again, I repeat, complement may be a noun phrase or adjective phrase or adverb phrase or prepositional phrase. Then how? Listen, here we find, and and that matter is maybe a present participle or past participle. How? Let's see. Here we find the idea in connection with the matter, adverb phrase. Yes, be verb here we find, and be verb is, am, are here, where other adverbs like become, seen, appear, grow, look, taste, smell, feel, etc. take a complement. It is very natural. Be verbs, as we have discussed, be verb family, that is be, to be. In infinitive, in simple present, is, am, are. In simple past, was, were. In past participle, been, been. And in present participle, being. Yes, these are the members of be family. And yes, they are used to again, and other verbs like become, seem, appear, grow, look, taste, smell, feel take a complement. Naturally, these verbs usually take complement. Yes, therefore, here we find this mango smells sweet, smell sweet, and here verb smell takes sweet is adjective and it is complement. Yes, we cannot remove it from the sentence because it is a complement of the noun this mango. This mango smells how? Sweet. Sweet is adjective and sweet is complement. And here, this complement, sweet, the word cannot be removed from the sentence. Yes. We find complements, here we find here this, the sky appears blue. The sky appears blue. Yes, the sky is the noun, appear the verb, blue. How? Blue. So blue is the adjective and it is the complement of the sky. The sky looks blue, the sky appears blue. Yes. And here we find all these matters seem. This question seems easy. This question seems easy. This question subject seems the verb and easy is the complement. And yes, how? Yes, we will discuss in detail, and because this is a very important class to remember, this will not be expressed in subsequent classes. Yes, now come. And here we find complements are of two types. Two types again. What are they? Subject complement and object complement. Yes, whenever it complement the subject part, that is noun or pronoun, it is what we call subject complement. Whenever the complement refers to the objects of the verb, then definitely that is called object complement, right? Object complement. So here we find the matter that complements are of two types. Yes. It modifies subject complement. If we take subject complement, then we find it modifies noun or pronoun. As we know that in most of our subject part is formed of either noun or pronoun. Therefore, whenever complement modifies noun or pronoun, the subject, definitely that is what we call subject complement, that acts as the subject in a sentence, And yes, because noun or pronoun always acts as the subject of the sentence, and in that subject can be complemented by a phrase, that is what you call complement. Let's see in a very interesting manner. These are the examples can clarify about the ideas how subject complement and what are the differences between the subject complement and the object complement. Let's see. Here we find Mr. Tripathi. Mr. Tripathi, subject part, is an English lecturer. So is an English lecturer. Here we find is an English lecturer. Yes, is the predicate part, as we have discussed. Is the verb and verb is the more important part of predicate part. Therefore, is an English teacher predicate part. But our discussion is not predicate now. Our discussion is the complement. Then, Mr. Tripathi is an English lecturer. It means here complement. And how complement in the sense who is Mr. Tripathi? He is an English lecturer. It means English lecturer is none other than Mr. Tripathi. So it means an English lecturer complements Mr. Tripathi. Noun here, Mr. Tripathi, noun phrase, and here was the noun. So here this is what you call subject complement. Here subject complement, and now the matter is clear. Whenever complement refers to the subject which is noun or pronoun, this is called subject complement. And now clear. Again, today is Sunday. Sunday is the subject complement because subject complement. And here how that Sunday refers to today. Today is the noun phrase, and today, and here we find subject noun phrase today. Today is Sunday. So what is the today? Today is Sunday. Yes. Remember how? Remember today is Sunday. We were, Sunday is therefore qualifying today, and it is a subject complement. And it is also noun phrase. Noun phrase, it is also noun phrase, and Sunday noun phrase. And yes, we were exhausted. Here we find exhausted, is adjective, exhausted, after a day of tiring work. We were exhausted. Exhausted qualifies we, and here we the noun pronoun, and yes, pronoun, and we were exhausted after a day of tiring work. It means after a day's days tiring work, or that is what we call a day of tiring work. We are exhausted. It means completely tired. Yes, we are. Here we find that how exhausted qualifies we. Exhausted adjective, and as we have discussed that adjective phrase qualifies noun as complement. Therefore here complement, and here also subject complement, and that subject complement is the adjective. Again, yesterday the whole city was on red alert. Here we find on is the prepositional phrase, and yes, here on red alert. Yesterday the whole city was. the whole city is the subject part, and here we find on red alert here, which was on red alert, the whole city. Here subject complement, and here subject complement. That means on red alert and yesterday is the adverb of time and adjunct also, yes, and subject is here, the whole city, subject, and this is what we call on red alert. I've been here. So here we find how the complement refers to the subject. All the members of the team, subject, and here we find we are not happy with we are not happy. It means unhappy. Adjective. We are not happy with the decision. We are not happy or unhappy indicates or qualifies, modifies all the members of the team, and hence it is also complement. And yes, the next, my grandfather, subject part, and walks. How slowly here complement, and this is adverb complement, adverb phrase, slowly. My grandfather walks. How, or how does my grandfather walk? My grandfather walks slowly. Slowly is the manner, adverb of manner, and this qualifies my grandfather. So here we find the man seems restless. The man seems here. How? Restless. You see, restless adjective qualifies the man. The man is the subject. And yes, this is the way how we find subject complement. And our topic is subject complement, and here we find that how the complement goes well with the subject, that may be noun or pronoun. In this case, we cannot remove the complement part of the sentence. If we remove it, then the sentence structure will be disturbed and it will be grammatically incorrect. Yes, this is the very nature of complement. Once again, complement, there are two types of complement. One is subject complement, another is object complement. Complements usually remain in the last part of the sentence, and they refer to the subject or object, and whenever they refer to subject, they are called subject complement. Whenever they refer to object, then object complement. And these complements are of four types. One is a noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrase. These phrases qualify or complement the subjects, and hence this is called subject complement. Now come to the next idea in this connection. Object complement. Remember here, object complement. Then how? Object complement. See, here object complement, it modifies noun or pronoun. The same idea, noun or pronoun that acts as object. That acts object in a sentence. In the last discussion, it was subject, but here that noun or pronoun is used as object, and then whenever complement modifies or complements what? That is the object. This is what we call object complement. How? You see, they elected him president. They subject part, elected the transitive verb, and whom, yes, question mark, him object. they elected whom? Him. What? It means the president. President is now noun phrase and it is complement. Complement, and yes, this complement qualifies him, and therefore it is called object complement. Once again, they elected whom? Him. I mean, in this place, him is the pronoun. For example, in the place of him, they elected Mr. Das, president. Mr. Das is the subject, and president is the complement of either Mr. Das or him. Mr. Das is the noun phrase and him is the pronoun, and therefore here we find president is the noun phrase and it acts as a complement. So here we find this is what we call object complement. Here we find object complement, that because it qualifies the object. Yes. And we named our dog. We named what? Our dog. It means here whom? Our dog. What? Jill. It means we named our dog Jill. Jill is noun, and it also Jill qualifies our dog. Our dog is the object, and hence Jill is noun and object complement. Yes, these are the matter. So whenever it means we find here that we named our dog Jill, Jack, etc. Whatever the name it may be, that name qualifies our dog, and hence our dog is the object and Jill is the object complement. He thought her intelligent. He thought whom? Her object, intelligent adjective and complement. Here we find adjective complement, that object complement. Pratik made his parents happy. Pratik made whom? His parents, object, and happy adjective and adjective complement. So here we find the matter parents happy. So remember here, Pratik made his parents happy by getting his target or earning money or name, fame, etc. Pratik made his parents happy. We heard the lion roaring. We heard whom? The lion. The lion is the object, and roaring is the noun, and this is roaring is the gerund. Roaring here, gerund. Verbal noun, and here this is object complement. So remember here how the very interesting, we heard the lion roaring. It means when we heard the lion was roaring. Yes, this is the meaning. When we heard the lion was roaring, it means roaring was continuing. We heard the lion roaring. This is gerund or verbal noun. Now come here. This makes the problem even more complicated. This makes what? The problem. Object and even more complement. Here we find complicated, here complement. So this is what we call object complement, because it qualifies the problem. This makes the problem even more complicated. Yes, this is the idea. What we find. I saw the house burning. I saw the house burning. Here we find the matter. I saw what? The house. I saw the house. The house is the object, and burning is the what? That is what we call the complement. Here we find burning is the complement or burnt. two meanings here arise. We find that burning, it means the house is burning, it means the house is continuing burning. But burnt means the house has already been burnt by fire. Yes, this is the matter. Here we find I saw the house burning or burnt. And as burning or burnt, both are qualifying the house, which is the subject. This is now clear, object. This is now clear that burning or burnt are object complements. Yes. Now come, they made me. They made whom? Me. Me is the object. Angry. Angry is the complement. And therefore, angry, angry adjective and adjective complement. Angry qualifies whom? Me. And therefore, it is also object complement. I consider him wise. Wise adjective and complement. And here we find that wise complements him. This is the way we find, my dear students, this is very interesting ways that as we have discussed, complements are of two types. One is the subject complement, another is the object complement. Subject complement complements the subject part, which may be noun or pronoun, but object complement complements the object. It may be noun or pronoun, but whenever it qualifies the object, it is called object complement. Whenever it modifies or qualifies the subject, subject complement. Yes, am I clear? So now let's see how the other parts of the other factors related to complement. Listen. The other idea, what we find, that complement clause. Complement clause is another interesting part of this discussion. Here we find there are four types of complement clauses. One, that clause, double-S clause, two, infinitive clause, ing clause. Yes, this is also very interesting factor. What we have discussed in the last class, clause is also a very important segment of our fundamental grammar discussion. Yes, and here we find complement clause. It means this clause also complements what? Noun or pronoun. How? Listen. Now the example, that clause. You see here, that clause, he knew that something bad had happened. He knew what? That here, noun clause, that something bad had happened. Noun clause, and this noun clause or that clause is also noun clause. It will be discussed very clearly in subsequent classes. We will discuss all this, but here we find that something bad had happened qualifies that here we find he knew that something bad had happened. Here we find that it gives a complete idea about the sentence again. And double-S clause. Again, another example, she admitted that she was wrong. That she was wrong, noun clause, and here that is complement, and here complement. And here we find complement, noun clause, complement. And this is because this gives a complete idea about the sentence structure. Therefore, it is also known as that is called complement. And how it begins with that and or double-S word, which is noun clause. It will be discussed very vividly in the subsequent classes. Now come to double-S clause. Again, let's consider how we can solve the problem. How we can solve the problem. This is also noun clause, and how we can solve the problem. Let's consider. So how it begins how, and it is also complement. Now they asked where I was going, not where was I going, where I was going. It means it is also noun clause and a noun clause, and the matter that how I mean where I was going, and WS clause because it begins with the WS word, and that's why WS clause. It also WS word, that is what called how and where, and hence here WS clause. To infinitive, you must book early to secure a seat. To secure, here we find to secure, to plus infinitive, to infinitive a seat, and to secure a seat is to infinitive clause, and this clause also acts as a complement. To secure, you must book early to secure a seat, otherwise you will remain behind and you may not get a seat. And yes, I was hoping to meet her next week. Clause and a complement. Here we find that the idea how we, and here we find the complement. Then here we find to meet her next week, and our leader suggested waiting until the storm was over. Our leader suggested waiting until the storm was suggested waiting. This is what we call ing clause. I mean here there is a verbal noun, and waiting until the storm was over. This is also ing clause complement, and here complement. Clause complement. And matter is now clear. Then how with this that clause, WS clause, to infinitive clause, and ing clause, all these clauses are used to indicate a complete action, give complete action about any matter, and they are also regarded as a complement. Yes, this is also very interesting part of our discussion. Now come to next, that is adjunct. Another factor, that is his hobby is collecting old coins. Naturally, collecting is the gerund. This is action. The act of collection, and therefore here we find the hobby. His hobby is collecting old coins. It means what is his hobby? His hobby is here collecting old coins qualifies his hobby. His hobby is the noun phrase, and collecting old coins is the clause, and this is complement. And here we find the matter that how ing clause can be used as complement, because here his hobby. What is his hobby? Collecting old coins. Gardening, drawing, painting, dancing. Yes, these are the matter. Now, non-finite clauses have no subject. Yes, very interesting idea. Clause, what we have already discussed, that the clause means there is a subject part, there is a predicate part, there is a finite verb, but interesting. And here, non-finite clauses have no subject, no tense, as in the example 3 and 4, they are used to provide. It means whenever to infinitive and ing clause is used, in that case they express no subject, no tense, but here, and as in example 3 and 4 we have discussed, they are used to provide additional information about the subject, additional information. And this information also makes our sentence perfect and interesting. Therefore, another idea. Here, the time referred to in the non-finite clause is usually understood from the context of the main clause. They are used only in subordinate clauses. Yes. Now come to the adjunct part of the Adjunct. It means this is the last part of our discussion, and as we know, our students naturally you face problem in distinguishing in between the complement adjunct. Therefore, this segment is very important one. This is we find here the differences in between the complement part of the sentence and the adjunct. Then what is adjunct? Now come generally adverbs or adverbials. Naturally, you see adverb, just now adverb, but nowadays adverbial, long ago adverbial, at this moment adverbial, and therefore are used to as adjuncts. It means they are used to qualify the verb, giving or modify the verb, giving extra meaning. Yes, whenever complement qualifies noun pronoun as subject or object, adjunct qualifies verb and to add more information about the verb. Yes, it can be used either at the beginning, very interesting, or at the middle or at the end of a sentence. Difference here, whenever complement is generally used at the end of the sentence, just after main verb, after the end or after the main verb. Adjuncts are used to, adjuncts can be used at the beginning or at the middle or at the end of the sentence structure. This is very interesting factor in connection with the matter. And here we find adjunct is used to decorate or ornament the verb. Decorate or ornament the verb. Yes, we have already discussed, because ornamentation of language can be made by adjective or adverb. Yes, here we find the matter that how decorate the ornament the verb. If we remove the it, the grammatical sentence of the sentence is not hampered. It means, as yesterday we have discussed, that adjunct, if we remove complement, the grammatical structure of the sentence will be disturbed. Yes, if we remove complement, but if we adjunct, if we remove adjunct, then the grammatical structure will not be disturbed. Yes. Here we find some examples. We visited verb. We visited, Kalijai. Where? Kalijai last month. Last month is a adverb of time. Adverb of time. And in this case, last month qualifies visited. We visited when? We visited Kalijai. Or when did we visit Kalijai? We visited Kalijai last month. And last month is the adjunct. Adverb, and it is adjunct. And you see adjunct. And this adjunct, if we remove it, we visited Kalijai. Then grammatical sentence, it means if we remove last month, then we can also get correct sentence, we visited Kalijai. Yes, if we add last month, then we can get extra meaning, when did we visit Kalijai. Yes, this is the matter. Therefore, come to the next. My friend often comes late. Often, here I will adjunct, and often is the adverb of time. My friend often comes late. If we remove it, then my friend comes late. My friend usually often comes late. Here, if we remove often, then the sentence structure will not be disturbed. It will give also meaning. My friend comes late. Yes, and therefore often is the adjunct, and its position is the mid position. Last month end position. This is what you call mid position. Mid position. and here we find end position, end position. It will be discussed very clearly in the subsequent classes whenever adverb will be discussed in a vivid manner. Yes. Now come the next idea. The train has just left the station. Just is the adverb, and just here we find like often. Just is found in the adverb, that is adjunct. Adjunct, again adjunct, and this is just is now in between. It means has auxiliary verb, left is the main verb, and just is found in between, and just is adverb and adjunct, and it can, if we remove it, the sentence structure will not be disturbed. The train has left the station. The train has left the station. Okay, it gives complete meaning. But if we use just, then train has just or recently left the station. So here the difference between the matter. We give extra idea about the adverb of time. Now come, the boss couldn't attend the meeting due to his illness. The boss couldn't attend the meeting. Yes. What was the reason of not attending the meeting? Was due to illness. So due to, here we find in the end part. This is mid part. Here we find due to his illness is the end position, and here adjunct. It means due to his illness can be removed. But if we use it, it gives extra meaning. The boss couldn't attend the meeting. Stop. Then also it is grammatically correct. If we remove due to his illness, then definitely we will miss some more information in connection with the reason of his absence. Okay. Now come long ago. You see, listen. This is that is beginning position, that is what we call that is beginning position of the matter. It means at the beginning or at the middle or at the end. Yes. And here we find long ago. This is adverbial, and this is also adjunct. And this adjunct is found at the beginning of the sentence, this sentence, and if we remove it, there will be no problem. There was a selfish giant in Oscar Wilde's The Selfish Giant, famous story, world famous story, the selfish giant. Here, the long ago, there was a selfish giant. If we remove long ago, then there will be no mistake in grammar. There was a selfish giant. Yes. So here we find the matter. The driver kept the car in the garage. The driver kept is the verb. The car is the object. Where? In the garage. Here in the garage is the adjunct, and it is the complement, and this is that is what we call the matter. In the garage, adjunct, and in the garage is found at the end position. Here, end position. So you see, listen how end position. The driver kept the car. Yes. If we remove it, then okay. But it gives extra information. Where? In the garage. He has 10 acres of land in his village. He has 10 acres of land. Has is the verb, and how much land? It means 10 acres of land in his village. Where? In his village. This is adjunct, and if we remove it, it is also found in end position, and he has 10 acres of land. If we stop here, then definitely the sentence will be meaningful. Yes. But if we add in his village, it will give additional or extra information. Okay. Finally, my friends are playing basketball. My friends are playing what? Basketball. Where? In the stadium. So, in the stadium qualifies the are playing, and this is adjunct, and here this is what you call arbor of a place. Arbor of place. Where are your friends playing basketball? My friends, answer, my friends are playing basketball in the stadium. Yes. So with these examples, we find the differences in between the complement and adjunct. These are very interesting ideas for our spoken English and written English. Spoken English doesn't come spontaneously, it is here. If we know the rules and regulations of the construction of sentences, then we can speak and we can write our sentences perfectly. Therefore, here we come to the point that the role of complement and adjunct cannot be avoided. Therefore, my dear students, take interest in knowing about the very nature of complement and adjunct, their positions, their behavior, and then definitely our speaking and writing English will be very comfortable and pleasant. Yes. With this, I conclude today's segment in connection with the complement and adjunct. My dear students, yes, like previous days, I've been here. Definitely, you must have enjoyed this class. Give your comments and share this video with your friends. Read the videos from beginning to end and take down the important points. If you have any doubt anywhere, you can give me in your content, that is very called in your feedback section. Then definitely I will help you in a better manner. Thank you for today. See you in the next segment. Bye.